Shifting our focus now, the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is witnessing a huge increase in the number of startups by youth from the Kashmir Valley. Jammu and Kashmir government says over 400 startups have been registered in the Union Territory in the last 2 years. E-commerce, horticulture, agriculture, food industry and crafts are some of the major sectors in which these startups have been set up. Here's a report.
Unemployment remains one of the major concerns for the government of Jammu and Kashmir, and various government departments in the valley are pushing for setting up of new startups by the local youth. The government calls it a success as hundreds of startups have been established in Kashmir, not only promoting local businesses but also generating employment for hundreds of youngsters. One of the most successful startups in the Kashmir region is Fast Bittle, a door-to-door delivery startup with the aim of helping local artisans and craftsmen and also connect them with a global clientele. Fast Bittle was founded by Abid Rashid and Samiullah in 2019, and since then it has risen exponentially. The company has around 110 employees directly working with them and creating employment opportunities for many more.
I see this valley as a virgin valley. There are no good startups which have come up in a very huge way, or any unicorn. So I see that having a virgin market also means an opportunity. So grabbing that opportunity is definitely something that startups would look for.
Abid added the government needs to open a single window for entrepreneurs who want to start a new venture. And the youth need not to depend on the government, but should also look for private investors as well. Another startup called Tiffin Ao, meaning meal is here, which aims to serve home-cooked food to offices, colleges and hospitals, was set up in 2019. It became extremely popular when the startup began delivering free food to hospitals during COVID. The COVID patients, attendants and doctors were given home-cooked food free of cost by Tiffin Ao. The startup later crowd-funded and generated huge support from people across the globe for their work. The founder, Rais Ahmad, says the startups are tackling the major issue of unemployment that Jammu and Kashmir is currently facing. Tiffin Ao has a dozen employees working with them.
I would request and suggest that there should be a single window or committee which can process it faster so that it won't grow. I think youth need to look at the government for finances, but they have to also explore the private investors. Getting private funding is easier and they should rely on both so that they can grow faster.
The government of Jammu and Kashmir has been pushing for youngsters to start their own ventures in various sectors. According to the government, more than 400 startups have been registered and many of these have been extremely successful. The government has started over a dozen incubation centers across the Union Territory for the youth. The hand-holding of these youngsters is done from the stage of training to providing them with a one-time grant by the government. While there is growth in the number of startups in the Union Territory, there are very few private investing firms in Jammu and Kashmir. Last year, Kashmir Angel Network was set up, which has more than a dozen investors in its network. These investors are financing the startups in the region. Earlier, these startups were reaching out to investors in cities like Delhi and Mumbai. But now, they have options available at the local level.
Kashmir Angel Network is a company first of its kind in the geographical area of this country. It was incorporated in July 2021. With the idea of fostering a platform where experts would meet the investors and the investors would meet the startups. That the core idea is to give a business environment, an enabling environment to the startups.
The Jammu and Kashmir government has registered over 400 startups in the last 2 years in the Union Territory. These startups are not only promoting the craft and the products of the Kashmir Valley, but also providing employment to the thousands of unemployed youth of the region. With video journalist Feroz Idris Lone for WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.